This is Stampy, and welcome to another Let's Play on Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. Look at this, I'm heading straight into a game, and this is another episode on my Masterclass series, where I'm trying to master all of the different classes that there are in the game. And I'll be honest, some of the last classes I've been playing as haven't been my favorite classes, but that's been fine because this has really been about playing all of the different classes, the ones that I normally do like and the ones that I don't like quite as much. And I've been playing a few that haven't been my favorite, but I do really like the Rose. I think she's really powerful, and I'm looking forward to playing as her in this episode. I want to kill this this Superman. Look, because in the low gravity he's going really high. Let's turn him into a goat, shall we? There we go. Now he can't fly around so much. You've got to be careful though, because even though they're turned into goats, they can still actually hurt you quite a bit. So let's go and finish that guy off, shall we? Let's talk a little bit about the Rose show. Actually, no, let's talk about the game type first. I'm playing a Gnome Bomb. And for no particular reason, I think the Rose is pretty good in like any game mode, I reckon, and that's just kind of this one included, and I just wanted to play something a little bit different here, so that's why, I decided to play Gnome Bomb. And there we go, I showed you a good example of using one of her abilities, which is the Time Snare. And basically the Time Snare makes a big bubble, and anyone that goes into the bubble gets slowed down so they walk slower. It also makes it so they turn slower, which I think is more important, because it means that they can't really shoot at you, like if you kind of go round behind them. So I think that's probably her best ability, especially if there's like a big group of people like trying to go through like a doorway or something. It's a very powerful thing to use just to basically slow them all down. There's also the goat. Oh, what happened then? What got me? God, he destroyed me with the ZPG. Anyway, so actually that brings me as a good time to talk about my health. I don't have too much health, so I got 100 health, which isn't the most out of all of the characters. It's better than the imp, which only had 50 health. So compared to the last episode, I got twice the amount of health now, which is absolutely amazing. But yeah, it's compared to like the superhero and some of the other characters, it's not quite as many as them. So this is going to be a very difficult fight. And oh, there we go. I think we were able to get that person. So we're playing Gnome Bomb, so I need to try and disarm this gnome, but I'm not going to be able to do that with all of these guys pushing in. I really need some of my teammates there to help me out. But anyway, let's talk about the rest of the abilities. There's also the goatee ability, and you saw me do that earlier. It's pretty self-explanatory. No, don't try and help me now. You've got to stop the thing. Yeah, basically the goatee ability turns people into goats, and they can still attack you. They can kind of charge you and can do a decent amount of damage, but generally not as much as they would be able to do normally. And then the last one is the Arcane Enigma, which apart from sounding really fancy, it also I just do it. I do it right now. Here we go. So I turn into this thing, and if I press right trigger, I basically hurt anything close to me and do quite a lot of damage. I do 20 damage for kind of each burst of that, and compared to the 9 damage my normal magic thistles do, it's pretty powerful if you're close up. But what I generally try and use it for is for escaping. I find that if I turn into that thing, people don't attack me so much. They can't see you as well, and they generally like ignore you a little bit more than they do otherwise. So if I'm weak, I often try and just turn into that and just try and get away as fast as I can. And I find that generally does allow me to survive a lot longer than I otherwise would have. So that's what I recommend using that for. So yeah, in general, the Rose is a pretty powerful person. The only real bad thing is oh no, I tried to turn them into a goat, but I missed. Yeah, the only real bad thing is that they don't have the most amount of health compared to the other characters, but it's not the worst either. And I don't think the Rose is as powerful as she was when the game first came out. Like her weapon, the magic thistles, they like lock on. But I feel like they used to lock on a lot more than they used to. So you can see I'm shooting, but I really didn't do any damage then. I feel like when the game first came out, those attacks would have all locked on and done a lot more hits than I was actually able to do there. But there we go. There's a good example of turning someone into a goat. And this might actually be a good chance to come in here and try and use my melee ability. Seeing as there's people all over the place, if you kind of just run in the middle of all of the chaos, you can really just deal a whole load of damage there. But then You want to try and get out and just try and stay alive. Oh, there's a little imp here. Come and help me out. There we go. I was able to get that guy. Someone else is shooting me. I think I was set on fire, actually. Yeah, I think I was set on fire. Yeah, I was taken out by the, I think that was the imp set me on fire before I took him out. So yeah, let's try and plant one of these bombs, shall we? We seem to have a good push together. You really do need to move as a team in order to get these bombs planted. Like, if you have the bomb by yourself, but you don't have any support, I kind of recommend waiting for a little bit until your teams back you up. Like, rather than trying to be the hero and to do it all yourself, it's probably a good idea just to wait until you have a bit of backup, because there's no point planting the bomb if the zombies are just going to be able to go and defuse it straight away. So let's go in here and try and stop these guys from defusing it. Let's try and turn one of them into a goat, and then let's just try and hurt them. There's just so much chaos going everywhere. Like, one of the challenges with the game is kind of just to be able to see what's going on. When everyone's running around and doing like all of their abilities all over the place, sometimes it's kind of hard to see, you know, what you're shooting at. So let's just try and take out this guy up here. If I use the time snare, oh no, look, he burst like straight through it. There we go. I was able to take him out though, but sadly it looks like we weren't able to plant that bomb. So let's go and try and get it here. I'm not sure who has it. I'm not sure whether the zombies have it or I have it, but oh no. You can see all of the people that have been, oh, what's that? Oh, there's a little guy here. Yeah, all of the people that have been the imps, they're all starting to get their mechs now. So I think this might actually be another game type where being the imp would be quite a good character to be as well, if you're playing on the zombie side, of course. So we're not winning. We are losing. They've destroyed one of our 3 points, but we've been able to stop them from destroying any more. So it's still kind of all to play for, I reckon. And the Rose isn't too good at long range because each shot kind of travels quite slowly through the air. So unless the person you're shooting at is staying very still, you generally want to go and try and get in quite close. And there we go. We're able to get another defuse there. I should be able to sneak up on these guys and do quite a lot of damage. Let's throw down a time snare. I think I'm getting shot from somewhere. Oh, it's a little imp. There we go. Let's turn the imp into a goat. I've only got 1 health. Oh, no, he took me out. I told you. Even as a goat, they can still do some decent damage. I did only have 1 piece of health left, to be fair. So I could have pretty much been tickled with a feather and I would have been taken down anyway. So, I mean, this playlist is a bit chaotic because most playlists, like most game types, like everyone isn't trying to like go to the same place. Like if you're doing like one of the capture point game modes or even the turf like takeover that mode, generally people aren't running to the exact same place like they are here. So this is kind of, I think it's good to have a character that can do, I think there's like a parrot going after me there. Yeah, it's good to be a character that can do lots of damages to groups in this game type. So maybe even the corn character might be even better than the Rose. I thought she'd be good because of her time snare, but often you can see that I'm going up against really big groups of enemies, and so you generally don't want to be a character that's best at taking on players one-on-one. So you can see here, it's actually very difficult now to hit these characters, and now it's not locking on quite as much as it used to. And was I able to turn him into a goat? Nope, I wasn't, but he was taken out anyway. So let's try and hang back a little bit more. Maybe I've been running in a little bit too gun-ho. Let's try and stay back and let's try and keep an eye on my health a little bit more, and let's do what I said about and try and escape by using the Arcane Enigma ability a little bit more. And let's try and stay alive, because a dead Rose is not very useful whatsoever. So there's an imp down there. When they're standing still, I can take them out pretty quickly. Like, my weapon's powerful. It's just a lot harder to hit them now. And there you go. That is a perfect use of the time snare there. You see how I did the time snare, and then I span around him, making it very difficult for him to be able to hit me. In the end, he did his spinning move and was able to take me out. But I did a nice bit of damage then. I did, though, just see at the last minute that he was calling in his mech. So we are going to have to deal with that in a little bit. And there it is. Right, let's try and use the time snare. Oh, no, look! I guess the time snare doesn't matter much when you can just charge through it with an ability like that. Oh, look at that thing! I want that thing. He's like a flying robot dragon. That is cool. Right, we need to step our game up, though, because if that mech's running in and we're trying to defuse, we are going to be in some big trouble. Let's try and get another time snare down, right down on the point. And let's try and slow down all of these zombies if we can. Let's try and turn one into a goat as well. Oh no, look, they've got 2 mechs, right? I think they've got this one. Yep, they did definitely have that one. I think there's very little we can do about that. And that kind of really goes into what I said about in my last episode, where talking about, you know, if you time it so you have a few imps get their mechs at the exact same time, there's really very little the other team can do, to be honest. Like, you know, it's like, how do you fight that? Like, you just kind of have to sacrifice not being very effective as an imp for a while, and then call in the mech. So I know this is supposed to be about this rose rather than the imps, but that's kind of a good example. And oh no, wait a minute! Oh, we got it. I thought they got one. We did that one. Oh, well done, team. I feel like I'm letting the team down a little bit. I feel like I've not done very much here, to be honest. There's all of these imps everywhere, and they're jumping around in 0 gravity, and I'm trying to shoot my magic fizzles, but they're just too fast. Fizzles? I mean fizzles. So let's try and get some high ground, maybe. There we go. So I can turn this guy into a goat. And let's try and stay up here and try and take out as many of these people as we can. So we need to take this to either A or B. So maybe I should jump a little bit more. Maybe I should focus on dodging, because I think it's very easy when playing games like this is to focus a lot on your accuracy and you being able to hit the other players. But it's almost as important to make sure they don't hit you as well. Like, if you can dodge them well and make sure they can't hit you, that is almost as effective as kind of the other way around, and you trying to hit them. So any character which has a higher movement speed and, you know, can basically walk and run faster, it really helps them out. Not only does it allow you to get to places quicker, but it also allows you to strafe and like dodge the other characters a lot better. And then that way, it allows you to try and dodge their attacks and to try and stay alive a lot longer. So let's try and stay up in the air a little bit more. The only problem with when you're in the air is you can't really dodge, because like once you're up, you can't really go left and right very much. You're kind of very slow. So I don't know if that is the best strategy. I think maybe just using a little bit more cover is going to be a good idea. I'm really struggling though with these magic thistles. I don't know why I keep saying thistles. Weird, but magic thistles. I don't know why I'm struggling. I don't know if it's because of this map. Maybe it could be because this map is generally quite open. I don't think that's very good. Like, I'm trying to hit that guy there, and there's really very little I can do in order to be able to actually to actually hit him, because he was far away and moving. Maybe it's best to be the rose on one of the smaller maps. And this is what this series is all about. It's not about me just giving tips. It's about me kind of learning strategies as we go. And I think I might have just learned a good strategy to maybe try and play the rose on some of the smaller maps where it's much easier to get in close and make sure that you're actually going to be able to hit all of the other players, because characters like the Peashooter and the zombie soldier, they shoot much faster. And so I actually think that they would be much more effective on a bigger map, because it's much easier to shoot from longer range. And of course, like things like the cactus are kind of purposely designed for shooting at a longer range. So maybe those characters would be more effective on a map like this. I'm kind of mainly having to rely on all of my other abilities and kind of supporting my teammates rather than doing too much damage myself. So let's just try and get a time snare down there to try and slow anyone down. Let's see if I can turn someone into a goat. There we go. I was able to turn someone into a goat. So you can see all of those assists I got. You see all of that score popping up on the screen then. They were all just assists, just saying like, you know, you did good. You know, you helped one of your teammates do something, you know, which is almost as good as kind of doing it yourself, because it is a team game. Like, the score that you get at the end of the game and looking at your stats, that doesn't matter. Like, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't help anyone. All that matters is being able to make sure that you're able to win the game. And there's a huge group of zombies down there. I'm just absolutely laying down all of this damage on. Let's try and turn one of them into a goat if we can. I don't think I was able to hit them, but you can see what I mean about this game time. Like, every player in the game is running to this one location, and it goes crazy. The game just for a while goes absolutely crazy, and it's kind of hard to do anything. So I think maybe also in a game type like this, I would recommend possibly playing as a character with more health. You can see a lot of characters are being like the superheroes. I also think like the corn guy might be a good person, because basically just in those firefights, you're just going to survive for a little bit longer. That's all there is to it. Just like this, like I don't even have to get hit by people aiming for me, just by people shooting rockets and doing all sorts. Like I'm just getting damaged, and because I don't have a huge amount of health, I think I'm just kind of getting taken out quicker than other people. So what I'm actually going to do is, after this game, which the game's just ended now anyway, is I'm actually going to back out and I'm going to go and load up a game of Team Vanquish, because in that game no one's really working as a team. Well, not as much as this. So unless people have joined in together and are really focusing on teamwork and moving together, people are generally running around by themselves a lot more. So I think that I might have a little bit more success playing as the Rose in that game type. So let's give that a go then, shall we? So once it's finished showing the dancing zombies, we can go and back out of the game and go and jump into another one. I think I did okay. I was on like the top half of the scoreboard, but we lost. And as I said, being on the scoreboard means nada. It means nothing unless your team wins. And I always think kind of playing to win is probably the most fun way to play. And it's not because, you're extremely competitive and you care if like you win or not. Like if I lose, I'm not like, oh, that's ruined my day. But I think just the challenge of trying to win is just kind of a really fun way to play games like this. So I did say I am going to go and buy some sticker packs first. So let's go and buy a few sticker packs, and let's see if I can buy any, get anything that's going to allow me to customize my Rose a little bit more, just to make myself look a bit more fancy. So let's go and get some of the fertilizer fun pack, shall we? And let's keep going until I get something cool for my Rose. I got a whole load of things for the Peashooter, and it looks like something for the sunflower there at the end as well. Loads of Peashooter things. The Peashooter is a very popular class, I think, from the first game and this game as well. And what I've noticed is that when this game first came out, you actually saw most players playing as the new characters. And I think the main reason for that was basically just because they were new. Because they're exciting and shiny and something that we hadn't seen before. I think a lot of people were, had more tendencies to play as those characters than the old ones. What have we got here? I got a pretty kitty. I can't believe that. And that's for the Rose as well. I'm going to have the pretty kitty. If you don't know, that's what I called my salon in my lovely world. I actually called that my pretty kitty, and now I have it in here, and it's a cat. It's an orange cat as well. That couldn't have been any more perfect. So there we go. Let's go and have the pretty kitty. And look at that, it's over my eye. That is amazing. I think I might always just play as the Rose now, just so I can be this. This is incredible. I can't believe that. And do I have any abilities? I haven't actually, see, these are just the default abilities, but you can actually get some different abilities. So for this series, the Masterclass series, I'm always going to try and just play as like the main default character, just so then I know that you definitely have the same character that I have, and you can do everything that I have, because a lot of the other characters, they aren't necessarily better. They might seem better, but like often it will be like, you do ice damage, but also like it's slightly less normal damage, or you set them on fire, but you're not as strong or you're not as fast. Like you have more defense, but you walk slower. So they're always like, rather than upgrades, they're more side grades. So don't feel worried if you don't have many other characters and you're mainly sticking as the default ones. I look so derpy now. They're normally quite as good anyway, but this is amazing. Look at me. I don't even think I'm going to do anything. I'm just going to spend the whole time looking at my awesome mask. Anyway, let's go. So we're still quite near the start of the game, and we're quite equal. So we've got a pretty good start. We're slightly behind, though. So let's see if I can try and turn it around for my team. So I do think this is going to be a better game type. This is, though, once again, quite a large open map. There's lots of quite long lines of sight, which I don't think the Rose is very good at. So I've got to play sneaky. I've got to try and sneak around the outskirts and sneak up behind players. And you'll notice I'm not really going to shoot until I feel like I'm close enough to do some decent damage. And there's a pirate over there really starting to be a bit of a nuisance. So let's try and back off around the back here, and let's try and sneak up and get behind the enemies lines. And oh no, okay, let's try and use the time snare and try and slow them down. Let's try and turn them into a goat. That didn't work, so let's just try and back off then. So I'm gonna do the strategy I told you about, and I'm gonna use the Arcane Enigma and try and use that to escape and just try and stay alive to fight another day. I think that zombie is still following me around there. Oh no, he looked around the other way. He came back. We're playing Ring Around the Roses, and he came around the other way. He killed me with the danger zone. Right, that was a not the best start to the round, but look, we're still equal. Despite my bad play, we're still pretty equal anyway. So let's go and let's try and do a little bit better here. I definitely need to try and get as close as I can. But the thing is, those zombie soldiers, they are super stronger as well anyway. So looks like this is where we're spawning. It looks like that Citron had only just spawned. So this is probably the plant side. So I want to try and, as much as I can, sneak around the outside to try and get to where some of the other players are. So this is a good chance. You see that he's not looking at me. I'm shooting them all side on. This is a good time to use the snare. And let's try and turn him into a goat if I can. There we go. I was able to turn him into a goat. And now I want to try and back off as much as I can. Because as I said, they can still kind of headbutt you and do moves like that. And then I got weak. And I can go and back off again now. And hopefully try and stay alive to fight another day. So even though I don't think I took out that guy, I did a bunch of damage. And then my teammates were able to finish them off. And here we go. Here's a good example of me using high ground. You can see, because I'm up high, I can kind of poke over the top of this roof, and once this soldier starts shooting back at me, all I need to do is just back off behind the roof like this, and then I can go and try and get instant cover. It's kind of the best cover to have high ground and be shooting down on the other players, because they're down in the open. If they get weak, they have nowhere to run and hide to, or they could just boost up and get to us, though. That is the other problem. But I did use the time snare, so there wasn't really much that guy could do there. So, oh no, look at the score. Oh no, look at the score. They've almost won. I didn't realize that. As soon as I start doing well, we start losing. But I'm definitely doing much better in this round than I was the last round. But sadly, we have run out of time there. So it's probably not my best performance. But what I've realized is that the Rose is definitely not as strong as she used to. She used to be much better at attacking at range. And I think she used to just be a little bit stronger as well in general. So what I've kind of learned is I don't like the Rose as much as I thought I did. I used to love the Rose, but I don't like her quite as much as I used to. I think you definitely need to make sure that you're playing as the Rose in the right situation. So in the right level and in the right game type. I think she can be a good character, but I don't think she's a kind of go-to like jack of all trades character like I kind of thought she was before I did this video. So there we go. My masterclass series is really working. I don't know whether you learned anything, but I certainly did. Although I do think the Rose might be one of my favorite characters just because I got the pretty kitty mask, which is absolutely adorable. She's got a little Stampy cat mask, which she's wearing on her face. So sadly, that is the end of this episode here. So which character do we have coming up next? I think it might be the pirate, maybe. Let's go and have a quick look. Let's go and switch over to the zombie side. So yeah, I did the imp as the last time on the zombie side, and let's just go and have a little quick look here. We're just going to carry on making our way down the list, and oh no, we're playing as the super brains, and so he is going to be coming up in the next episode. And look at that, 200 health. So this guy should be pretty powerful. So yeah, I'm going to find out how to play as this character in the next episode. But for now, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!